Some of them could not stand the strict discipline and the hard studies. Many got into fights, drinking at a nearby tavern, or were simply absent from the parade and were dismissed. By June 1827, Cadet Lee had earned a furlough with general merit ratings, second only to Mason. With the course half finished, Lee was slowly pulling ahead of the other cadets. After being away for 2 years without a furlough, Lee went home for 2 months. He took with him a nickname, Marble Model. It was probably meant in fun, but there was a seriousness in it too. His nephew, Fitzhugh Lee, proudly described Lee to his friends. His clothes looked nice and new. His cross belts, collar, and summer trousers were white as the driven snow mounting guard upon the mountain top, and his brass breast and waist plates were mirrors to reflect the image of the inspectors. Everyone was noticing how handsome Robert E. Lee was that hot summer. Among them was the blue-eyed daughter of rich George Washington Parke Custis of Arlington. Mary Ann Randolph Custis was the only surviving child of the plantation owner whose mansion was truly immense. Mary was heiress to this fine home which stood on a ridge overlooking Washington across the Potomac River. Lee and the heiress had known each other as children when they had met during visits to Mrs. Lee's family home at Shirley on the James River. There was speculation about Mary Custis and Cadet Lee. "I don't think her father will take kindly to anybody as poor as Cadet Lee when there are other young men around with as much money as Mr. Custis." "Nobody," another girl replied, "is as rich as George Washington Parke Custis." "I have to admit you're right. If you count Mr. Custis's thousands of acres and many slaves, well, that is rich enough." Lee was welcome at the various social functions given by his relatives. He was known to tease the girls, but never unkindly. The men of Virginia also liked Lee, who was one of them. He was bred to the aristocracy, with its strict code of conduct for gentlemen. Lee wore his gray cadet uniform with white bullet buttons to take his mother to visit a Carter cousin. "She looks quite unwell," a sparkling young girl said as she watched Lee and his mother talking with the cousin. "I wonder if he has any thoughts about leaving her behind while he goes back to West Point." Her male companion looked at Cadet Lee with frankly admiring eyes. "Of course, everyone knows how devoted he is to her, but he's the Virginian, and his duty will take him back to the academy." Lee finished his furlough and returned to West Point. He renewed his efforts, and the following June was rewarded by ranking second in physics, third in chemistry, and third in drawing. Since he had no demerits, he was given an even higher honor, Corps Adjutant. Lee finished his final year with the rating of top student in artillery and tactics. He was second in general merit behind Charles Mason, who later resigned from the Army and spent his life as a civilian. Robert E. Lee, West Point, class of 29, was breveted as a second lieutenant with the Corps of Engineers, his chosen field. Brevet means he got the rank but no extra pay. At age 22, Brevet's second lieutenant Robert E. Lee took his earned $103.58 in cash and started home on a 2-month furlough. His orders called for him to report in August for his first military assignment on Cockspur Island in the Savannah River, Georgia. Lee took a trip south from West Point to find his mother was dying. That hot summer, Lee cared for his mother with untiring devotion. On July 26, 1829, Anna Hill Carter Lee died. Robert stood by her bed as she slipped away, a woman who had suffered physically and emotionally most of her adult life. Grief swelled in his throat. He sighed, realizing his mother was with her Savior, but he would miss her deeply. She had left behind a priceless legacy for Virginia and the nation in Robert E. Lee, newly graduated from West Point.